Hello. So it's 10:28 p.m. It's this should be the last YouTube video that I do for tonight. I already did the a few TikTok videos. So, excuse me, and I transferred them onto here. Sorry, excuse me. So I'm sitting here wondering as I said, the gang stalkers, it seems like as if they're playing with my soul. They're playing with my soul and think it's funny. And they ought to be they ought to be called the crazy ones, not people like me that just mind my business and try to better myself and try to do what's right. So that perp that called herself Aquarium Doris or something like that, she came with different fake names. So it looked like as if she probably left me alone today. But the fake Darnell Williams perp made another new fake account and came to harass me on YouTube tonight, just now, and made a fake profile of as I said, I don't throw up devil horns, I don't throw up 666 hand signs, but I was just showing y'all as an example in one of my previous videos about how gang stalkers do towards me. So when I used that as an example, he tried a second time to falsely smear me as a devil worshiper or to be one of them, when I was just demonstrating and showing y'all an example. So, and he publicized my local city again. So the gang stalking network seemed like the ones in person, I know that they already know. I had just got here and was getting gang stalked already. Even when I was signing the paperwork to move into this place, they had perp neighbors coming in. I'm sorry, perps that rent from the company coming in. So so the in-person gang stalkers, there's a perp that's right next door. But the guy behind me doesn't seem perp like, but I didn't get to get it on film, but I really think that was kind of perpish for him to deliberately have like no underwear on and have, if you look like you're close to 60 years old and have your pants halfway down and very like as if you wanted me to see your ass cheeks and crack. So I didn't get to film. I tried to film it, but it wouldn't record, and I didn't realize until after he went back inside. So that was, but look, I think he was a perp because he was a fake nice perp too, because he came out and took out his trash at the exact same time that I did, or something like that. Either that, or I was coming from Dairy Queen and then either Dairy Queen or the grocery store or something, and he was that something like that. I don't remember. Either I was coming or leaving. Excuse me. Oh. So I went to Dollar General probably 2 or 3 times already since being here. Yeah, it was about 2 or 3 times. And, so the fake Darnell Williams perp, Marcel Thibodeau, or whatever your name is, he came with a fake brand new account, like 15 minutes old. And, So it's like they found out within less than a week, and they found out very quick the exact town that I'm staying at. I thought that if I moved to a smaller city in, South Texas, I thought that me moving to another city, well, I thought that would, moving to another city would, I thought that moving to another city, I would end up, that basically that it would be harder for them to find me. I mean, they got it down to the exact city, the exact town, and I don't even know if they had the exact house, well, this little cabin, this exact small little place that I'm staying at. But from the looks of it, I guess they're trying to scare me into thinking that I won't. I mean, the fake Darnell Williams perp, he delusionally believes he's my handler and been stalking me online for over a year. And you're not my handler, but you delusionally believe you are. And, he's trying to do a mixture of Alex Dupree and DJ by, trying to think that he can beat me into submission. So the fake Darnell Williams perp, I think he has something to do with the ex-boyfriend Alex and the biological brother Wyatt. They came after me. Because that was random, that Wyatt didn't want shit to do with me or care about me for quite a few years. And all of a sudden you just randomly call me a week after Belinda's birthday. Exactly a week. It was April 6th. So yeah, I think that they sent Wyatt to me. They sent the ex-boyfriend Alex to me. They tried to get Janet, who I rented a room from. They tried to put her back. Janet is a fucking perp. And she didn't want to be exposed. She tried to get all my videos taken down because she didn't want to be exposed. I don't want shit to do with Janet or the ex-boyfriend Alex Mendez. I'm talking about two different Alexes right now. But I heard that Alex Dupree is not Alex Dupree's real name. I heard that he did a piss poor job of trying to mix my last name and the ex-boyfriend Alex Mendez's first name. My last name's Grand Prix, not Dupree. But I guess they probably used Dupree to try to throw me off. But Alex Grand Prix, they would have thought it was too obvious. So they used a fake name, Alex Dupree. And I don't know his real name. But Alex Dupree admitted to be a sodomite, a Jesus-hating satanic Freemason, and everything else. And he was very childish. So Alex networked with both in-person and online gang stalkers. And I think the police gave him my phone number. And I don't know how, before I got the Candy Grand Prix account on, I don't know how they were able to find all three of my YouTube accounts. How Alex even knew my name, or how did fake Darnell Williams perp Marcel Thibodeau, how did he get my fucking phone number or anything like that? So the fake Darnell Williams perp, I'm not ignoring shit. I'm telling everything y'all do. Because now y'all got me all nervous now. Very fucking nervous. But me calling myself trying to settle in like I'm going to stay here long term or planning to stay here for a while. But they got me all nervous. They got me nervous. So the fake Darnell Williams perp made a comment bragging about how he got, I don't know who Cynthia and Savannah are, but he bragged about how he called Cynthia and Savannah up at the local Dollar General nearby. He bragged about how he called them up, and he said, well, they said that they can't kick you out or ban you from the town, but they can ban you from their store. It's like, why are you calling them up to have me banned from the store if I haven't made any complaints about any of the workers there, really? So why would you call them up to have me wrongfully banned from the store? You bragged about how you're going to get me banned from the place that I'm living at. You bragged about how you called up the post office. You bragged about how you're going to have me banned from the Dollar General and the Dairy Queen. Well, I don't have to go to Dairy Queen no more. But, I haven't even really made complaints. I don't recall making complaints. Oh, yeah, I did. I did say that one of the workers there, had an attitude and stuff. But she seemed like she was mad with the world. That was one of the evening workers, but I haven't been to Dairy Queen in like over a week. I have not been to Dairy Queen in over a week. So I'm letting y'all know what's been going on. And so and it's like he talks and acts like as if he's joking, but his physical actions and the things he's doing, like succeeding at getting me destroyed, it's like he's dead serious. So as I said, he wants to try to get me to cave in. And it's like the things that he's doing, it's like he's trying very hard to get me to commit suicide. But he really wants for me to sell out. Like he would destroy me on purpose so that if I can be backed in the corner, and he would think that I would take that deal. So it's like I got to do a whole bunch of spiritual warfare or praying or whatever. And as I said, I'm still traumatized about the fasting thing because of the religious narcs and, the religious narcissists like Lisa Ruby and all them, I still haven't even really recovered, about the fasting. So, and then if I go 1 or 2 meals, well, I can do 1 meal sometimes, but, if I go a long time without eating, I get weak and shaky, but my blood sugar is usually always normal, and they don't usually really say that I'm diabetic. So yeah, I mean, they're trying to make me discouraged, and I already started, working on my first cookbook, and I can publish like 2 cookbooks. I can publish 2 cookbook recipes, but it's like if they have a plan to have me gone by next month, in which I want y'all to pray. If any of my supportive subscribers, if y'all seeing this video, if y'all can pray for me to keep this housing. Because if once I end up on the streets, I don't want to hear none of y'all motherfuckers lie and say that Candy abandoned the place. That Candy, you willfully abandoned the place. Or for you to lie and say that, you left the place willingly. Or if you lie and say that, that you abandoned the place or that you wanted to be homeless. That's them. They want me homeless. So if I get told next month or any future months that I can't stay here anymore, then the gang stalking sex traffickers got something to do with it. And it's like the police won't do shit. And the Victoria County Police, they gang stalked. Yesterday when I went grocery shopping and everything, I didn't get to get it on film while I was on a little transportation. So there was a truck that said Texas Department of Transportation. It was a small pickup truck. I don't remember what it wasn't a tiny pickup truck, but it was maybe like F-150 or something like that. I don't remember, but it said or it could have been a Chevy truck. I don't remember. I just remember it was a pickup truck that said Texas Department of Transportation. And I don't remember if they had one headlight or strange headlights. But I didn't get to get it on film. So it's like, y'all want to, ban me from places for speaking out against employees gang stalking me or doing this or doing that to me. Well, y'all not going to keep me quiet. They act like as if it's, I think they call it Pavlovian conditioning. Pavlov, with the dog. No, not that one. It's whatever psychology conditioning with the reward and punishment or something. I forgot which one. No, Pavlovian I think is different. Something like that. I don't remember. But they say it's behavior modification. And it's like, as I said, this is considered in a category. It's not a hotel, but it's considered in the category of hotel. So, as I said, I can't get comfortable because I would hate to have to pack up all my stuff and leave next month. But I call myself, I'm like, well, if you try to have faith of a grain of a mustard seed and and declare authority over the devil, maybe I should just proceed like I'm going to live here for a long time. But, I'm sitting here, buying up things that I need. Other people have helped me move in here, and somebody helped me with the toaster oven and the towels and the crock pot. Well, and they might get angry with me if I got to get kicked out of here and be back on the streets with nowhere to go. If I got to get kicked out of here and be back on the streets with nowhere to go. And the perps will fucking laugh. And the fake TI perps, they also but laugh. So, I don't know if I could try to see about that other opportunity. It may cost a little more, but I don't know if I could see about that other opportunity. But I heard it's more so in the middle of nowhere. And I think that's the transportation. Maybe the free transportation probably goes out there too. So so I'm trying to make a living for myself with writing, the short stories. I apologize so much. That was the first time in a long time with the But you know what? I think I made that mistake before with putting way too much rice or something in the crock pot when I was in Greenville, South Carolina. It seemed like but this is weird because the crock pot, I couldn't even stir everything properly and couldn't put enough water in and I had too much beans and too much rice. And because I saw TikTok videos and YouTube videos about people filling their stuff to the top or filling it to the brim. And everything turned out great. So I need to put less beans and rice next time. So you know, um but just because I made a mistake with that, I mean, even experienced cooks or experienced chefs or whatever, they even have like boo-boos and mistakes and stuff too. People who've been cooking for years. So they got some people who brag about how they've been driving for over 30 years, but they might have a moment where they might accidentally run a red light or a stop sign or something. Or might accidentally break a rule or something. They got people in their 70s who've been probably driving since their teens and still will get pulled over by cops. Just being experienced and professional does not make you God-like perfect. When you still might make mistakes too, even if you might be experienced and professional, but that does not mean you're perfect and won't and like you're invincible to making mistakes. But if you make a mistake and a narcissistic abuser that's self-righteous, they'd be like, well, had you been paying attention, then you wouldn't have made such and such foolish mistake. But I mean, it's okay if they accidentally knock over a whole gallon of milk, they might be like, God damn, like the fake foster mom, and she would have been like, God damn, Candy, do me a favor, mop this milk up for me. But I would hear like a never-ending lecture if I was the one who accidentally knocked over the damn milk. Even if I would have just, accidentally spilled like a dime-sized amount, I would have never heard the end of it. Look how stupid, that is so stupid, or whatever, So, yeah, I hate to be full of anxiety and fear, and I'm not doing anything wrong, and you're bragging about having me banned, and they make it like as if I don't have a right to expose what they're doing or talking about the gang stalking, and they think that they want to pimp me into silence. But as I said, please go on my Targeted by the Psych World backup channel with the yellow sign that says, the yellow icon that says Targeted by the Psych World for Jesus Christ. Go on there and scroll down a few videos and you will see the audio recordings for the sex trafficking gang stalkers, what they've been doing. I mean, and it's like at least three or four men that have been, harassing me and wanting to sex traffic me. They don't have this number. But, so the fake Donnell Williams perp got no choice but to harass me online. Otherwise, I mean, imagine somebody who doesn't even know you and you don't know them and they're harassed, like just disgusting. And he has called me fat and greedy before too. And he sounds like a fat person. He doesn't sound like somebody that's skinny. You can tell in somebody's voice if they're fat. I mean, over the phone, you can tell in somebody's voice if they're fat or skinny. So it's like, I can't even be comfortable or relaxed up in here. I can't even be comfortable or relaxed up in here because, I mean, what am I going to do with any leftover groceries if I get told that I can't stay here no more? But if I had like an apartment lease or something, I know I would be harassed and stuff still. But, with an apartment lease, You can't just up and bounce when you want to. You strap down for a whole year, a whole 12 months with the same disgusting, shitty neighbors. And they don't want you driving or with the car because if they that's the more independence that you have, that's the less they can control you. So I got some gang stalking harassment today, with especially noise harassment, and I didn't realize that the end of my one of my cooking video, the baking video with the banana nut brownies. I didn't realize the baking video, that at the very end of the video they had the ambulance or sirens noise harassment. So it's like, and I know that if I publish a cookbook or if I'm doing YouTube videos about cooking, people aren't going to want to support me because, it's like if they see something weird like the noise harassment while I'm trying to do a cooking video, then they're going to turn away and not want to be supportive, especially if I explain about the gang stalking. Well, they want me to just take gang stalking out of the whole equation and just focus on the cooking. But, as I said, I have a hypersensitive ear condition, and it's torture. You cannot ignore torture. It was excruciating pain. You have to try to fight to make them stop. So, so the fake Darnell Williams perp, and guess what? On TikTok, professed targeted individuals. That's what they were talking about. How gang stalkers are trying to make a bet on your soul or trying to make a bet on your life decisions. So, I think I may have talked about this before, but how gang stalking seems kind of like a multi-level marketing scheme. That they can recruit you and get you to join, they get a bigger bonus. If they try to recruit you and get you to join. So, and I'm pretty sure that, the pain that the fake Darnell Williams perp is inflicting on me, or the suffering and torment. When he was the one who told the satanic tranny, he was the one who showed him, called up the Cottage Cafe and showed them my videos, and, had the tranny call me up and threaten me. And I confronted him and said, yeah, you working alongside the sex trafficker, gang stalkers who were trying to sex traffic me. And then his devil worshiping friends try to say, oh, you are nuts calling him a sex trafficker. I'm like, first of all, mind your business. I ain't even talking to y'all. Second of all, I didn't say he was a sex trafficker. I said that he was working alongside the fake Darnell Williams perp and the ones trying to sex traffic me. But as I said, I'm not fucking becoming a perp, because as I said, they just want to steal your soul and not give you everything in life that you want, and you will be more of a slave then than you are now, being targeted. You'll end up being more of a slave as a perp than a target. Wow, this kind of didn't come out right. This seems more smooth than this side. But you see, this look like as if I have ringworm or something, but this is just seborrheic dermatitis. So, yeah, So if I end up, I'm letting y'all know, and I'm warning y'all that if I end up kicked out of here or back on the streets or get told that I cannot renew another 30 days, then y'all will, and not end up back on the streets, then y'all will know why. You don't fuck with people's lives like this, especially people who don't know you and people who never did you anything. You really should not, try to mess with people like this. So, as I said, I'm giving y'all a heads up. I'm warning y'all. And this is my paper trail to let y'all know everything that they're doing. So I cannot ignore getting kicked out of here. Y'all say ignore the perps, but I mean, if I encounter Dollar General workers that turn out to be perps and they say get out of here, you have to leave, I can't ignore that and continue shopping. Then I would get arrested, right? And then y'all will victim blame me and say that, you should have followed their orders. When a cop is gang stalking you, you're not free to walk off and ignore them, are you? And the cops are humans too. They're not God. So if the people I'm renting from turn out to be, perps, and they say, well, you can't stay here no more, then I can't ignore them and continue staying here. They'll probably refuse my payment, and I would have to be forced to listen to them and obey them and do what they say and pack up and leave. I mean, at Birch Hill Suites, the extended stay, Justin was a perp, and that LGBT woman was a perp too. That they lied on me. They lied on me about the smoke alarm and told me that I had only 10 minutes to pack up and leave. Y'all want to know how much food would have been wasted and how much stuff I would have had to leave behind? And I'm like, that was just random. And they try to cause me shock and fear. And then that was one of the best room 208 was, and look, almost totally remodeled. The only thing bad was the sofa was fucked up and the stove door wouldn't close all the way. But it was an extended stay with the stove and an oven, a small stove and an oven. And I probably could have, if I would have had enough money, or, I could have stayed there longer, or I could have cooked. But because I was living very tight financially, with the, some of the first week was the Social Security check. And then, the second week was mixture of Social Security check plus donations. And then the third week, I think it was fully donations. And that was hard to get. But, I had to leave out of there. And and room 208, I didn't even want to leave out of that room. That was my favorite room. But I liked room 119. And they had the, well, if that didn't have like the fuck ups that it had, I think room 119 probably would have been my favorite room, because that one had the, big, huge, it was the handicap one with the big, huge, spacious bathroom and bathtub with the handicap bars and everything. Just what I needed. But room 123 was a total fuck up disaster, and it had looked like ejaculation stains all over the curtains, and the sofa was flipped upside down, and well, not upside down, but the pillows or whatever just messed up, and they had too many roaches, and I already showed y'all the rooms or whatever, but and guess what? They stole my $6.68. They stole it. I don't even know, because I should have got that money by now. And Justin tried to block me from talking to the actual manager. I'm talking about the Birch Hill Suites in Blue Ash, which was in Blue Ash, says part of Cincinnati. So and when they terrorized me, I was there first, and then they bought up the property and they terrorized me and ran me off from 25 West Government Street in downtown Pensacola. And, you know, if they wouldn't have done that and the weather was warm and I had the place to shower, I mean, it's like they sabotage everything, ultimately running me out of Pensacola altogether. The same people chanting to get Candy Grand Prix banned from Pensacola, they're the same ones lying and saying that Candy willfully left Pensacola and just wanted to go someplace colder so that she could get more sympathy and donations and money, which is not true. And then, you know, they falsely accused me of being a pity prostitute laying on my back. Like they try to falsely make it like as if I'm a pity prostitute laying on my back begging for money all day in hotel rooms. You know, but you don't like me, but you keep stalking everything I do. I ain't begging you for nothing. So this is their goal, to have me back on the streets begging again. They won't allow me to they won't allow me to earn my own income. And they think that getting me kicked out of places and wrongfully banned from places, they think that's funny. But that fake Darnell Williams perp is mentally off, slow, and retarded with multiple personalities. He has multiple personalities. He's demon possessed. But, you know, it seems like as if God finally made it happen for me to get this place to live. And, you know, people are, you know, being a little bit more supportive and helping me out and everything. As I said, you know how if I have to leave out of here, it'd be like leaving out of a hotel. That and then they would give me a short time, an unreasonable short time, you know, to get out of here and pack up everything. So in past experiences, if I had to deal with a narcissistic abuser who kicked me out of somewhere, they would give me an unreasonably tight and short, like just like what I was talking about at the Birch Hill Suites. That 10 minutes, that's unreasonable. That's not a reasonable time to get me to pack all my stuff and then clean up and pack up my stuff and then leave. Especially, and then for something that you falsely assumed that I did, that I didn't even, I was innocent, and that was already like that before I got in there. So, you know, I'm trying to progress and trying to do better. You know, I forgot and didn't get the opportunity. Well, I ended up dozing off and taking a nap this afternoon. I took a nap, and I don't know if it was at least 3 or 4 hours. and I felt recharged and refreshed. And then I went to try to clean out the messed up crock pot and took out the trash, and I cleaned up a little bit and cooked. I'm sorry, I baked the the banana nut brownies. I baked them. They turned out to be, even though I guess I put a nice bit of oil, but they still seem like as if they came out like crumbly and dry. But I figured maybe I should have added another egg. But they still came out cake-like rather than fudgy and brownie-like. But it was still good, and I still feel like it was a success. And I have 3 more loaves. I ate that whole loaf too. So 3 more loaves, and I can't wait till tomorrow to have another loaf. So so I know I need to try to not even though they keep attacking me and coming at me with threats and stuff, but I need to try to not let them give have more ideas of making sure that I'm kicked out and back on the streets, because they're counting on me to lose my mind and go crazy. And I can't believe that the fake TI perps would tell you so much the amazing truth, but then they're playing both sides. Like this fake TI perp that excuse me, this fake TI perp was trying to tell me that then she showed her true after she told me the truth. Then later on she did something weird and showed her true colors as a perp. So she tried to tell me that the gang stalkers have that Alex Dupree. Now she tried to say that Alex Dupree was my handler and had a dossier on me or whatever. And so like basically that they have a profile on me or something. And so then she tried to say that the gang stalking goal is to set you up to get institutionalized or jailed, so that basically once you're in jail or institutionalized, that they can MK Ultra and reprogram you. See, that's helpful information, right? She said that they will MK Ultra and reprogram you or beat you into submission to cave in and say yes and sell your soul and sell out. And then, that a lot of times in mental institutions and and jails, that they torture you and beat you into submission and make you sell out. Either that or they'll have you killed in jail or the mental institution. Because see, in 2010, they nearly succeeded at killing me in the mental institution. So even in the mental institution, what they say, narcissistic abuse and reactive abuse. So they will trigger and provoke you on purpose to set you up to lose your temper and go off and lash out, so that they can have an excuse to rough handle you and put a cocktail of medication inside of you, and you don't know what you're getting inside of you. And then they leave you in a seclusion room for so many hours. And, that was the most traumatic day, was Friday, October 22nd, 2010. I was 27 years old. And that was when the 6 men rough handled me and had a torture session in a mental hospital in Denton, Texas. UBH, University Behavioral Health in Denton, Texas. But I was at the Mayhill Hospital, and I wasn't even suicidal. But they put me on a suicide watch anyway. So October 15th, 2022, I think that was the day that I nearly succeeded with the suicide attempt. And if I hadn't called my twin sister up, even though she's a perp too, y'all know that. But if I hadn't called her, I probably would have succeeded at dying. I probably would have succeeded at dying if I didn't call her up. But because it was considered mental, the ambulance and everybody came flying. And then the police themselves treated me with police brutality. And I was going in and out of consciousness. I guess I was going in and out, almost dying. I didn't die, but I was going out. I didn't die, but I was going out. And I hate to say it, but after I took that overdose of Cymbalta and Klonopin and Benadryl, I don't know how much I took, but I just took a whole lot. And I nearly succeeded at dying. And the police officers, the abusive narcissistic police officers, and some of the same perp police officers that would come out, one of them, I don't remember that man's name, but the female officer was Officer Luce, Luce. And it was either one of them two always coming out. But Officer Luce, the female, wasn't there. It was all men. And I remember certain police officers snooping through my belongings while I'm going in and out of consciousness. Snooping through my belongings. Some of them pointing and laughing at me. But they only had one good cop out of the probably 7 or 8 bad cops. And when I was going in and out of consciousness, one police officer was gentle and gently squeezed my arm, gently. And the other police officer, each time I was going, in and out of consciousness, once I closed my eyes, he would vicious hate, angrily twist. He had big hands and would angrily twist his knuckles in my heart with the vicious hate, anger look. And I'm like, and it's like he would keep on doing it, all his manly strength into angrily, and that was a narcissistic abuser right there. All of them were, but except one cop with the fucking conscience. With the conscience. Only one cop with the conscience to be gentle and supportive. And then they try to, I didn't know that people can, I didn't even know that if a person's considered crazy or mental, I didn't even know that suicide attempt, I know they said self-murder, but, I didn't realize that you get treated like a criminal. Or if that's because, like, if you attempt suicide and you survive, if that's a crime, considered a crime. So they threatened to put me in the prison psych ward at Wichita Falls in Texas. I don't know how far from Denton that is, and I don't know how far from Victoria that is. So, Wichita Falls is like the state mental hospital or something. And people say you do not want to go there. They said that was Texas version of Bellevue State Mental Hospital in New York, when I wasn't even suicidal and I wasn't even a threat. And they kept on trying to put me there in New York. So in 2010, what led up to my suicide attempt was, it was after my suicide attempt was when I found out that I was in a cult. And then I attempted suicide again. Took all those pills and just sucked it up. And, I lost a lot of support and a lot of friends during that time. A lot of people betrayed me and instead of being supportive, they all turned against me. Aaliyah's so-called fans on Twitter, like they had this guy named Conrad, and he got mad, like very frustrated. He's like, "You got so much more to live for, damn it." When I mentioned about being suicidal again. And so then he, this was back in 2010. And I think he got hateful and unfollowed or blocked me or, got real mad at me and didn't want to be friends anymore. And, and quite a few other people. And it's like they had this lady named Lucky that was one of Aaliyah's top worshipers or whatever. And Lucky, she tried to, when it was on Facebook a long time ago, and she said, "You're only a victim if you," I was, suicidal. And she's like, "You're only a victim if you act like one." And I'm like, motherfucker, if Aaliyah was suicidal, you would have had I didn't tell her that, but I thought, well, if Aaliyah was suicidal, you probably, because she was a celebrity, you would have had a different response. And I heard rumors that she was suicidal with all the shit she went through. But that MK Ultra will make you think she was so strong and wouldn't break down. But behind closed doors, I heard that they had to keep I heard that they couldn't reprogram her no more, so they killed her. They couldn't. And she was young. She was a young ass kid, not a child, but 22. She was young, and I heard that they had a very hard time because I heard that they tried to, after the R. Kelly thing, they tried to get Gay-Z to try to reprogram her, and that didn't work. So then they got Damon Dash. That didn't work, so they killed her. And I heard that they tried to beat her into submission. Even though she had all the Illuminati signs and everything. But I heard some people say that Aaliyah refused to sell out. That she didn't want to sell out. And that's the real reason. And that I heard that they tried to get her to sacrifice her dad. And she didn't want to do it. So I heard they killed her. So, and they said she was getting too big and powerful to be, and some people say that Aaliyah's soul was pure and stuff, or that she was too pure for Hollywood. So I mean, in 2010, you know, what happened was, you know, 2010 was just a big year of disappointment from beginning to end. 2009, I thought that everything was getting better for me. I had lost a lot of weight and was trying to get back into college, going back to school and taking more classes and everything. And then, I took classes in 2010 at University of North Texas, had to drop out, and I was suicidal, depressed. um, I went 2 weeks without eating. No, I'm sorry, 2 months without eating. And so many celebrities. I found out the truth about celebrities being so evil. I found out about the Illuminati. I found out celebrities were not nice people, and because they're narcissistic abusers. And I guess me and Kim Kardashian we wouldn't get along, that we would not have gotten along. I don't think I would get along with Kim Kardashian. I probably would not get along with Tom Cruise. And these celebrities, I didn't realize how dangerous they are. That is dangerous to be around a celebrity. So, spiritually and physically. I wouldn't get along with Sean Diddy Combs. I wouldn't get along with Lady Gaga. I wouldn't get along with Rihanna. I wouldn't get along with Jennifer Aniston. I wouldn't get along with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I wouldn't get along with President Biden. I wouldn't get along with Kamala Harris. I wouldn't get along with Condoleezza Rice. I wouldn't get along with the Pope. You get it? But anyway. Yeah, I was disappointed about being let down or treated mean by celebrities and their relatives or people they associated with. I found out about the Illuminati and the New World Order. Found out that I was, in fact, truly in a cult. Now, speaking of the fake IDMR cult, my twin sister, it was like the day after we turned 18, which is the day after Aaliyah died, was when, on the 26th, was when my twin sister called me up, because our birthday is on the 25th, and Aaliyah died on the 25th. So when my twin sister called me up and told me about Aaliyah dying, and I'm like, what? On our birthday? I didn't know until she called me up the next day and told me. And I called, and the foster mom even tried to ruin my 18th birthday. So, then, the day after my twin sister told me about Aaliyah's dying or whatever, then she broke down and spilled the secret, saying that she used to sneak around when we were 17 and meet up with the biological family members. And she told me about the biological family members. But what she didn't tell me was that she smear campaigned me to the family before they could even get to know me or meet me or know who I am or know the real Candy Grand Prix. And years later, Ramona told me that Brandy threw me under the bus and said all kinds of stuff about me before we even turned 18, and they found out about me. So my twin sister was a perp before we even graduated from high school. So then my twin sister, during that same conversation, she was telling me that the biological mom, Frances, was the one who told her that the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research, that's a cult. And I didn't know what a cult was. I never heard of that word, cult, until the day after our 18th birthday. So my twin sister still decided to stay in it for a long time. The fake foster mom beat me into submission until by my senior year in high school, because I guess I started resisting the cult when I was 11, and even I was 6 or 7 years old, and I didn't like it. But we were forced and had no choice, and I used to try to look for an excuse to stay home and not go. But people used to compare us to the fake Jehovah's Witnesses for years. But they used to think we were part of the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult. But nah, it's a different cult. But both cults. But so then one time I was 18 years old, and the foster mom me and the foster mom were arguing, and she said, well, I hope you pray to God or Jesus or whoever it is, because you sure don't believe in Yahweh. And I said, well, good, because don't nobody believe in that fake cult shit anyway. And so she got mad and beat my head into the refrigerator or did some kind of physical abuse towards me. I don't remember what it was, but she got real fucking mad and put her hands on me. But I don't remember exactly what she did to me, though. And then in 2006, I tried to go in New York. And the fake cult members, they try to make it like with my disability and my tics or whatever, that I was too disruptive. So they decided to kick me out. They try to make like I was making too much disruptions or whatever, because of my Tourette's being too bad. And so they kicked me out. That was the branch and it took me hours to get over there. It was in it was in Jamaica, Queens, New York. The fake IDMR cult back in 2006. And they kicked me out. They threw me out twice. So I never went back. And then living in Denton, Texas, I had no transportation really. And they expected me to go there. Go to the fake IDMR called Way in Mesquite. I don't have a car. So, when my twin sister lied to the cult leader about me, fraudster Robert Harris, I heard he died. That narcissistic motherfucker, he died. He was so arrogant and full of himself. So, fraudster Harris, my twin sister, my twin sister had called him up and told him a lot of lies on me in 2010 after the first suicide attempt. And, so it's like when I called him, she gave me his number and told me to call him and encouraged me to go ahead and call him. And so then I called him up and he went off and told me off about myself and said, I know exactly who you are. You are a satanic spirit. You are a demon in a body. You have nothing to say to me. Click. He hung up in my face. So I'm like, this has to be a cult. What kind of Holy Spirit figure would do something like this? So me and my twin sister had an argument the day before our birthday in 2019. And she lied and said that she told me not to call him, or that she was that she tried to lie and say she told me not to call him or she didn't tell me to call him. I'm like, how else would I get his fucking number? She kept on encouraging me to call him. And she also made failed attempts to try to beat me back into submission and try to force me back into the cult. But she got one of her videos that full of lies that she left up. She lied and said that I'm a spiritual narcissist. But it's her. And she's mad because when I told her in 2013 or 14 that I left the fake IDMR cult and turned to Jesus, she got mad and yelled at me and gave me a narcissistic fake 4-hour lecture. She gave me a 4-hour lecture. And then she got really mad when I hung up in her face. I'm like, I'm not trying to hear that fucking shit. I'm older than you. Even if it's 13 minutes, motherfucker, I'm still older than you. I came out first, motherfucker. So, I mean, I came out first. So, I mean, but she always thought that she had authority over me. But, you know, we're both younger than Sean, and she thinks she got authority over Sean, too. But she's defenseless and scared against, but she'll challenge and fight Wyatt, but she can't overpower Wyatt. But she's scared of Mark. Derek is younger than us, but she's scared of Derek. She's scared of Pete, and she's scared of Mark and Ramona. But she ain't really scared of me, Mark, and she ain't scared of me, Sean, and Wyatt. And I think she would be scared of my niece Monica and scared of, if my cousin Blake was still alive, she would be scared, defenseless and scared of Blake. She thought she could fuck over the biological mom, Frances. But she would be defenseless and scared of Arthur. She's defenseless and scared of the fake foster mom and the foster sister Shelley, the foster sister April, and the foster brother Joe, or anybody else in that foster family. She'd be defenseless and scared of them. Defenseless, scared, obedient, and submissive. And that's why I say I think there's like a hierarchy with narcissistic abuse that narcs know who to fuck with. But then when you strike back, they get mad and be like, Candy, know who to play with. Or they be like, Candy go fuck with the wrong one. And I'm like, all I'm doing is defending myself against y'all fucking with and harassing me first. I don't try to bother nobody. So I really don't bother nobody. I mean, excuse me. I went out and got my groceries yesterday. In New Orleans, they say make groceries. I forgot about that. I don't usually say make groceries, but I'm a New Orleanian who doesn't really say make groceries. But yeah, I made groceries yesterday. Well, I got groceries yesterday. And, you know, as I said, if I might have to throw all the food away, because y'all say I gotta leave. So yeah, 2010 was a really rough year for me. Total year of disappointment. But the best thing that ever happened to me was, it was growing. Finding out the truth, it hurts. But I grew in the truth, and now I don't. Sometimes every once in a while I might feel a quote unquote self-pity kind of denial that I can't believe our government is doing this to us or whatever, or if I might see or hear a 90s R&B song, like for example Mary J. Blige song, Everything or something like that. Or Mariah Carey's song Hero. Or if I might hear, you know, Jodeci's song Sweaty. It's been a while since I listened to willfully listen to secular music for entertainment purposes. I guess the last time I did was in August or September 2021. The last time I remember. So if I might listen and be like, well, how is this so evil? If you might listen to Fantasia Barrino's song Truth Is, and you might be like, how is this evil? But some people say it ain't evil. I mean, that it's evil because it's not in glorification and worship of God or worship of Jesus Christ, you know. And that's only for their own fulfillment. Like, I mean, Tevin Campbell's song, Can We Talk? And I heard Tevin Campbell was one of those artists that went through some shit. And he turned out gay and been struggling with sexuality. But, you know, I used to love his songs too. You know, so, and then you loving these celebrities' songs for years and then get devastated when they treat you like shit on social media. Like, I was devastated to find out Aaliyah's brother Rashad was an asshole. And I wasn't his only victim. He was running his own Twitter cult called Art Eternal. Yeah, Rashad Hassan Houghton. People say that Rashad looked like Wyatt. I mean, I think he looks like Wyatt, but people think that Rashad looks like Mark. But they say that Rashad looked like he could be my biological brother. But that's funny because people will see pictures of Aaliyah and ask, is that my twin sister? I'm like, do I really favor Aaliyah that much? They're like, yeah. I like, kind of find out, I think they were perps playing games. But people say that genetically that I really do favor the singer Aaliyah a whole lot. But like, you really think that I look that close like her that she looked like she could? But I don't know if they were perps playing games. But people really do think that Aaliyah's brother Rashad looks like Mark, but I think Rashad looks like Wyatt. But he act like Mark though. So I mean, certain celebrities were rude to me on Twitter back in 2010, but they had some cool celebrities like Estelle was nice. Sierra was nice to me in a live stream back then, but when I mentioned about her being Illuminati on YouTube, I think she blocked me on YouTube because she knows it's fucking true. But let's see. I think, let's see, well, Cisco from Drew Hill was nice and responded to one of my tweets on Twitter years ago. And one time Coco from SWV, I wasn't sure if she was trying to be rude or what, but Omarion from B2K was rude as fuck. Um, Genuine kind of made me mad one time. He was ignoring the shit out of me, but responding to everybody else. My big thing was Chili from TLC. Had an attitude with me before. And Omarion from B2K, they both were nasty towards me on Twitter before. And so both of them were considered narcissists. And Chili is narcissistic and self-righteous and delusionally believes she's bigger, better, and higher than perfect. And then, like, I've been looking up to TLC for all these fucking years. You know, I used to like them when I was 7 years old and they had their first album. But T-Boz was cool as shit. Real nice. Her and Missy Elliott, I mean, I used to talk to them on Twitter quite often. But I did not realize that who I was dealing with, though. That the celebrities be evil people. And I didn't know about satanic rituals. I didn't know none of that. I didn't know any of that. But it seemed like as if, I don't know if it's the case, but I guess T-Boz must not be participating in that Illuminati stuff. Maybe, but then again, she would, like the TLC group, they Grammy winnings, they had Grammy winning success. So I really don't think T-Boz would, walked away from the Illuminati, because I think if she did, she would be dead. If Aaliyah only had 7 years in, and they said that she was in too deep. And look what they did to Left Eye. But I really like T-Boz. She was really nice. But it's sad what I heard about that they tried to traffic her daughter. About a month or two ago, they said that I heard that. She said that they tried to traffic her daughter. I'm like, what? So people say that sex trafficking is one of the main staples of the New World Order. That they want everybody to be a satanic sex slave. That they want everybody broke, poor, homeless, and desperate. So, the government is already making everything more expensive and stripping us of everything, forcing us to be homeless. And I heard that, people of any and all race will be like homeless, poor, and struggling. And I met some people in Hollywood that were homeless that said that they used to be rich. And they said that they're happier being poor and homeless than to be rich. I just needed a roof over my head and, a roof over my head out of the bad weather, and to be able to take a shower and stuff, and to be able to, live back how I used to be living. But now, I just want like a sustainable income for me to just, to be self-sufficient again. To get back to being self-sufficient again and self-sustaining, and, just to make a living, just to get by. But I don't need to try to, gain the whole world or whatever. Or to try to, I don't need millions of dollars. I don't need millions of dollars, but I'm just trying to survive, And it seems like it's very sad that I can't even plan for the future, because I heard that this summer, will be like, I don't know. I'm hearing like some bad stuff is gonna happen this summer, and that the world will be in more decline this summer. That more people will be suffering. So I can't even really make like plans for the future and stuff like that. So it's almost midnight now, you know. So yeah, I just had like a rough 2010, and it's 2023 now. But you know what? I think that my twin sister or the biological brother Mark, the biological gay brother Mark, it was one of them two secretly slandered me to Aaliyah's brother Rashad once they found out I was talking to him. They had to have. And then I think that they got in his head and I don't know if Mark does that, if he goes around slandering me and turning people against me, but I know for a fact my twin sister does. Because my neighbors in Los Angeles, they acted like perps, and shortly before they left, that's when they told me that that my twin sister had called them up and was telling them stuff about me. And once the biological mom Frances died, all the neighbors flipped and turned against me and started to act like perps, because my twin sister called them up and told them all kinds of lies about me. She was trying to get David Jane long before she actually got him. Because in 2015, David still wanted to be a friend. And he would come back and tell me the stuff that she was saying. And so David Jane, the David Jane that y'all see online, David Jane is a different person. So I really do think that people's personality actually changes once they sell their soul to the devil. You ain't the same no more. I heard that they even look the same, that you can see the demon inside of them. And that's really sad, because whoever got David Jane to sell out, it's like taking advantage of a disabled person and ruin a mentally disabled person's soul. That you turned David against me. So yeah. So I'm pretty sure they have some. I think I may have gotten off topic and lost focus on my train of thought, and forgot certain things I forgot to say. But yeah, they tried to kill me up at UBH mental hospital in Denton, Texas. So yeah, I'm like trying to not go to bed nervous tonight, because of what the fake Darnell Williams perp has been doing. So I mean, as I said, if he had pain inflicted on him, he wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like it. And all the online perps and fake TI perps who tell everybody, if they say, oh, I wouldn't wish this targeting on my worst enemy, but yet you contributing to my torture and targeting. Even the fake TI perps are calling me schizo and crazy and saying I have mental problems or mental issues. And then they're also telling everybody don't donate, don't help her. And so they had this fake TI perp called Kachina. I thought that a Kachina doll had something to do with Native American witchcraft, right? But this fake TI perp on Twitter named Kachina, that New Age 1111. Kachina 1111 on Twitter got hateful and unfollowed me for no reason. I'm like, well, somebody must have smear campaigned me, but I was reluctant to follow you anyway because your Twitter name. So I guess so it seemed like as if the so-called TI community is acting like perps and gossiping and slandering me, telling others in the TI community to stay away from Candy, but at the same time they ignore me and stay away from me, and they ignore me and they stay away from me, and they tell everybody else to stay away from me. So and I'm like, well, what could I have said recently? Like, maybe he or she must have unfollowed me after seeing my haircut or something. I don't know. But there was another perp, a fake TI perp. I can't think of her name, but it was a few days ago, and she got hateful and unfollowed me on Twitter, so I blocked her. And then she told another target that, I'll always be here for you, and we all need each other, or something like that. And it's like, yeah, but we all need each other, but you just unfollowed me unprovoked for no reason. I never did you anything, and I never even tweeted at you, and you were one of my newer followers. Somebody must have DM'd you and told you, don't follow Candy, she's a perp, or something, I don't know. So, the Gang Stalking Network, they bragged about lying to people and saying that Candy is a perp. And they do that to targets, to turn targets against each other. And if you notice, why do y'all keep believing the gang stalkers? If TI is supposed to be a unity or united group, then, But somebody made a fake perp comment bragging about being on my YouTube channel, bragging about being a part of the Gang Stalkers Association. I'm like, well, I never knew such association existed. The Gang Stalkers Association. Yeah. So as I said, my targeting has ramped up since I accomplished getting this place, and then they're trying to make me back on the streets again. So as I said, if I end up back on the streets again, y'all know why. I didn't tell folks, where I was in the beginning. I didn't tell people, exactly where I was gonna be at. But the perps hunted and found out. So I busted ass to get a driver's license here. And it seemed like everybody was against me trying to get a license here and trying to live here. But they didn't give me all those thumbs down when I got my driver's license in Cincinnati. So, as I said, if I gotta be back on the streets, then I'm not gonna be homeless in here in Texas. I'm going, and I never was. No, I was. Because after dealing with Mark, I had to end up at that fake Salvation Army in Denton for, I don't remember if it was a week or a few days, but they gang stalked me out of that place. But shortly after, I got my own place and was there for 4 years. But the neighbors, the landlord, everybody, perps. And when I was living in Denton in 2007, they had this interracial couple. The abusive black guy was physically abusing and beating on the white female every day. And see, when you hear stuff like that, if you don't say nothing, you be told that you should have spoke up and said something. But if you speak up and say something, you get told you should have minded your own business. So, so then, like, they would have sex every single day. Every day they would have sex. And so, and then there was this couple across from us that used to have a lot of sex too. I mean, across on the other building. So, and yeah, Denton, Texas was extremely racist. So, I don't know. It seems like my gang stalking has ramped up, and the gang stalkers are mad at me accomplishing something, and now they're trying to destroy me. They're trying to do me in. That I ruined their plans, and they're trying to do me in. And you know, they're trying to do me in, and I'm not selling out. Y'all gonna have to kill me. I'm trying my best not to commit suicide or be suicidal. But you ain't gonna get me to sell out. And that is a promise. Because I feel like it's not fair. You hear about celebrities who get fucked over really bad out of the deal that they made. I mean, you know. So when celebrities go broke, I mean, so Black China, Angela White, or whatever her fucking name is, I heard that she was supposed to blood sacrifice her mom. And I heard that because her children are half Kardashian, that she ain't gonna touch them. Because they're half Kardashian. So, I heard her mom, Tokyo Toni, was, crying and shaking up because they said Black China was supposed to be sacrificing her. Excuse me. And her mom exposed her, saying that Black China turned into Jesus and removing all those fillers, that is all fake and just an act. So I saw some article saying that Black China is broke with only only $3,000 in her bank account. You crying about being broke, but you know how many people wish they could have $3,000 in their bank account right now? But if Black China had all these millions, and now you only got $3,000, and you falsely claim to turn to God, and her mom is saying, "Don't fool you." Don't let her fool you. So they call Tokyo Toni crazy. She been speaking out heavy against the Illuminati and speaking the truth and everything. Tokyo Toni, they said Tokyo Toni, they try to make it like as if she's bitter and jealous and money hungry. But they try to make it like as if Tokyo Toni is just a narcissist that a narcissistic mother who's just jealous of her daughter's success, when in reality Tokyo Tony had been speaking the truth, that her daughter was with the shit, because her daughter just went through that demonic satanic Grammy ritual. And shortly after this Grammy ritual that everybody was concerned about, now you want to be Angela White and turn to Jesus and get rid of all of your fillers and injections and stuff. Now you're claiming you're broke, but they said that that's all a distraction. So if Tokyo Tony turn up, we hoping she won't, but if she turn up dead, then y'all know why. So so you know, Jamie Foxx, I heard they're trying to do him in. He spoke out against Diddy, and I heard Usher did too, but Usher ain't being destroyed. But you know, but Al B. Sure, Kim Porter, Andre Harrell, they're gone. And Christopher Williams, I never heard of him, but if Diddy destroyed Christopher Williams' career, and I heard that he strung out on drugs real bad and everything else, and like Christopher Williams and Al B. Sure, I think I heard that they were cousins, but they both turned out to be quote unquote, they both used to look like quote unquote pretty boys back in the day, you know. And I'm like, wait, Christopher Williams, I never even really heard of him until recently. But then I'll see videos on YouTube that he did back then, and I'm like, wow, he was so gorgeous and beautiful. Back then, I would have chosen him over Al B. Sure back then, but Al B. Sure was the big star. But back in 2000, if you see pictures of Al B. Sure as of 2010, 11, 12, I thought he was the best looking back then. But if me looking back at Al B. Sure, I'm like, I'm not too crazy over the way he looked back in the 80s and 90s. But Christopher Williams was just so gorgeous and beautiful. But I don't know. But and if you see, I heard that the kids, like Kim Porter and Diddy, the twins and stuff, I heard that they're starting to question their mom's death and everything. And it's like, I hope that Diddy don't have his own fucking daughters taken out. But I heard that he's blinding them with nice, lavish cars and everything. You know, and using money to keep them blind and keep them quiet. And you know, so it would be something if me and Michael Jackson wouldn't have got along. But I don't know, but maybe we might have gotten along, because people consider him eccentric and weird, and he was. I felt bad that I used to hate him based on the lies said about him too, and I didn't know any better. And I'm like, well, Michael Jackson turned out to be innocent of all those charges. All those false accusations. But I heard R. Kelly. I heard that was true. That was really true. But I heard that Michael Jackson had a rough childhood and was very abused and traumatized. And Michael Jackson was heavily targeted, very much one of the top targeted individuals. And so, it's 12:07 a.m. on Saturday, April 22nd, 2023. Where's my twin sister's other son, McKeithen's birthday today? Oh, I didn't realize. I don't even know how old he turned. So I think he turned 16. Ivan turned 17 in March. And Raven is like 19, 20. No, Raven is 19. So, like, if Raven was considered special needs, disabled, um, I mean, my twin sister was glad to get rid of those kids. That's a doggone shame. Glad to get rid of them, and then pretend to be fake butthurt when she found out that McKeithen was sodomized by some foster caregivers or people adopted or something like that. But I don't need, if Raven is 19, she's of age and aged out of the foster care system. So I mean, I don't. Raven should be able to connect with her at least. But like I would have done anything to have not anything crooked, but I wish I could have been married and had kids, but not to a dirty husband though. So but I'm gonna quit talking for now. And well, it's already tomorrow. It's now the 22nd. So I'm gonna go for now, and keep me in your prayers, please, because as I said, I stay here, and I don't really do nobody much of nothing, and they're already talking about having me banned, and I'm like, for what? So the fake Darnell Williams perp must have slandered me to the Dollar General, and who knows what else. So I'll see y'all later on, and try to go to bed by now.